Hello everybody and welcome to this new Kuzzle IoT demo. We often say that Kuzzle is an IoT backend because its real-time and multi-protocol capabilities make it suitable for an IoT project. So today we will dig into a simple demo to set up a communication between an IoT device and a Kuzzle exposed over the internet. I have here a Sensit, which is a device developed by SigFox. It is able to detect temperature, light, door opening, movement, and magnetic fields. And each time its sensor gets something, the Sensit will send a binary frame through the SigFox network. Within the SigFox network, the cloud servers will route this frame to our account because they are aware that this particular device is associated to our account. Now, once it's in our account, the cloud servers from the SigFox network will look for something called a callback. A callback is a simple function that will take the raw data payload sent by the Sensit to a URL that we specify. Now, that's where Kuzzle comes into play. I will have a Kuzzle server exposed to the internet and I will configure the callback to call my Kuzzle and create a new document with the payload sent by the Sensit inside the document, so that each new measure sent by this device will be stored into a new Kuzzle document. Now, let's take a look at how to do it. Now, this is my Kuzzle. I accessed it through the admin console, and I have a Sensit index with a data collection inside. This is where we will put our documents. And here is my SigFox backend right into the management of my own Sensit. And here is where I specify the callback. So I create a new callback. I specify it's a custom one. It will be of type data, bidirectional, and here I specify my URL, which is iot.uat.kuzzle.io 7512 sensit/data/create. So this is the way that we reach the API endpoint that tells Kuzzle to create a new document, and it's a post request. If you don't understand what we are doing here because you're not familiar with the Kuzzle API, I strongly encourage you to take a look at the video that explains how the API works. Now, I have set up my callback here with the URL and the method. I have to specify the content type, which will be application JSON. And I have here a tiny editor that allows me to write the content of the document that I want to create. So first field is, of course, the device ID. And here I use a special syntax defined by the SigFox network that allows the servers to interpolate this and place at the in place of this device string the actual ID of my device. So it's basically a template. And then along with device ID, I want raw data. I say raw because it will be binary, and we will need, if we want to use this data, we will need to parse it. And here I specify data. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's check. Data, bidirectional, URL. This is the URL with the correct index and collection and action. This is the correct verb, the correct content type, and this is the body. So if I create my new callback, I can see it here as enabled. Now, if I go back to my Kuzzle here, I choose to watch my collection in order to be notified of whatever happens on this collection. So I subscribe to my collection. Now, I have configured my sensed here on magnetic field. And I have here a small magnet. What I expect that will happen whenever I reach my sensed with my magnet is that a new document will be instantly created on my Kuzzle instance. So let's do it. Okay, you can see it gets lit. It means it detected something. And if I take a look at my Kuzzle here, I see a new document created notification with the correct device ID and raw data fields that I specified. So this is pretty much everything for my demo. I just let you imagine how many things you can do with such a simple solution. And while you imagine how to make your dreams come true, you may have questions and you might be confused. In this case, I really encourage you to reach us on Gitter and ask whatever you need. We'll be glad to help. So it's enough for now. I hope I see you on the next video.